Let's talk about the amazing writing team duo of Hall and Oates, who are no strangers to song titles with different meanings than thought out to be. Two top songs with different meanings from them are Rich Girl and I Can't Go For That. Both Billboard charting songs are not about a girl at all. Today we look at another popular 80s track to find the real dark meaning behind the song and lyrics of another one of the duo's top hits, Maneater, which also is not about a girl or woman. Maneater was released on October 31st, 1982 on their 11th studio album H2O and was written by the duo with Sarah Allen, who was a longtime girlfriend of Daryl Hall. She is also the inspiration, and to whom the song Sarah's Smile was related.
Sarah's Smile.
No, honey, don't sing.
Oh, won't you smile a while for me, Sarah?
Tom, people are
when
looking.
you feel cold,
please.
I want you.
Honey, maybe this isn't the best place to
And
be
when you
singing.
feel you can't go on, I'll come and hold you.
Yay!
You,
All done.
Hey, and me forever.
Daryl and Sarah would finally call it a wrap on their relationship in 2001. Maneater would go on to be Hall & Oates' most popular and successful singles from their long career together. It peaked to a #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and #6 on the UK singles. So the song tells a story about a man-eater, a woman who enters into relationships with men not because of love, but because of her own selfish interest. She uses these men and dumps them after she has achieved what she wants from the men. Something that almost anyone can relate to, or are very aware of the circumstances at least. But the song is not that simple. Let's think about what New York was like in the early 80s. Why? Women like that can be from anywhere, right? Well, John Oates states in an interview, Maneater is about New York City in the 80s, he explained. It's about greed, avarice, and spoiled riches. But we have it in the setting of a girl because it's more relatable. It's something that people can understand. That's what we do all the time. Yes, that was something they did all the time with their songs and lyrics. As catchy as the song is, with the ease to confuse, Maneater was also the headlining song for the movie soundtrack to Runaway Bride starring Julia Roberts, another ploy used to hide the real meaning of the lyrics. The very first line of the song, "She'll only come out at night," can easily be correlated to the nightlife of New York City in the early 80s following the influence from the late 70s. Think, January 1981, both Steve Rubel and Aaron Schrager are released from prison for tax evasion. The two young partygoers, owners of Studio 54 throughout the late 70s, whose greed caused them to pocket profits, avoiding paying rent and other shady deals. This was a prestigious club where celebrities and musicians would crave to be a part of. This was a time of free-flowing drugs and promiscuousness. A time where people would literally spend all their nights dancing away their issues of life. A lot of fans and listeners to this day still think this song is about prostitutes, based predominantly on the first line of the song. But nope, just about nightlife in general terms.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Both Daryl and John were raised in Philly and moved out to New York to further their careers throughout the 80s. So at this time, they were really soaking in the New York scene and seeing a lot of things that were not to their liking. The lines, "watching and waiting," "oh, she's sitting with you but her eyes are on the door," has more to do with the music industry and the artists and their relationship with the label executives. Hall Oates goes into more detail about their relationship with the industry in the song I Can't Go. This goes back to more greed, put on the part of the labels and music industry of always wanting more and more, even when you have a good and satisfying thing or talent sitting in your presence. New York has long been thought of as the media capital of the world, where great minds of entertainment and art come together to produce greater works for the world to reflect on. The 80s were no different. But just like Hollywood in the 70s, and even still now, many people have tried but come up short. Failing possibly because their mind was set on the wrong things. The last line of the verse, "If you're in it for love, you ain't gonna get too far." Suggesting that in order to be successful, your drive will have to be greater than just the love. The love has to be for the money. Anyone who has started a passion project or a new career doing something they love has to be on guard for this. It is easy to lose the love of what you're doing and why you're doing it in order to chase the financial capital gain, which can be exhausting, draining, and your ultimate failure in the long run. Artists especially are faced with this once there is some kind of financial backing their dreams and vision. Somewhere along the way, the creative mind of the artist gets lost, and the works produced start to suffer, and we, as fans, normally notice it first. Not only was New York a prestigious city for late entertainment, but the cover charges for some of these clubs were outrageous and felt more like a sanctum to fulfill your dreams and sinister fantasies. The doormen were held with such high regard, gatekeepers charging college students $15 in 1982, when celebrities or individuals with deeper pockets might get into it for free. Hence the line, "So many have paid to see what you think you were getting for free," would later be immortalized in the novel Bright Lights, Big City, which was published in 1984 and would become a film in 1988 starring Michael J. Fox. New York was suddenly full of loopy fantasies like areas. They bloomed long after dark through the haze of cocaine and ecstasy in wonderlands like Saint, Paradise Garage, and Danceteria, and later the Limelight, which came along in 1983. Trump Tower opened amid the shimmering emporiums of Fifth Avenue, and Donald Trump appeared for the first time in the pages of the newly resurrected Vanity Fair. It would quickly become the decade's Bible, channeling and amplifying a fresh obsession with wealth, with celebrities, and with the rituals and foibles of the Americans who have achieved either or both. New York was a very dangerous city, even hard to catch and feel safe on public transportation. The city council would send travel caution to visitors and post signs all over the subway stating, "Subway safety. The New York subway system has a reputation for crime and filth which is not undeserved. Stations have been vandalized, cars sprayed with graffiti, platforms are smelly and filthy in many stations. In 1981, there were 15,812 felonies in the transit system, including 13 murders. But it is also true that more than 3 million travelers ride the system daily and survive. Use common sense. Be alert to your surroundings. Stay with other people. Do not go down empty stairwells or ride empty cars. Do not lean over the edge of the platform. If in doubt, stay near the conductor, who has a telephone, as does the attendant at the toll booth." The city was overpopulated and public transportation was cramped, where the elite would rub shoulders with the ghettos, making it an easy day's work of pickpockets. With all that going on in a city that was so quick to show the glitz and glamour and the allure of money spending, Hall Oates' line, "She's deadly, man, she could really rip your world apart," was fitting and really to the point. That is, if we know what the point was. In a city and atmosphere that was poised to chew up stars and spit them out, both Daryl Hall and John Oates continue to have success, and the world is thankful that we are able to fully appreciate their musical genius from the 70s up to now and counting. Well, as you know, this is That's So 80s, and that's all we have for you today on the Inside of the Classic. Maneater. We hope you learned something new today in the process. Let us know in the comments section if you would like to see more videos like this or any other suggestions for future videos. And be sure to check out some of our previous videos about Tom Hanks' complete 80s filmography, or about the 1985 cult classic Berry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
We do this every time, like na 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 na. Feeling like I'm on the highway, 'cause everything